What about now?
There's that beautiful voice. How you doing?
Did you try to do an Australian accent just before?
Yeah, a little bit, mate. A little bit. I'm getting there.
It's so funny to hear that.
You have a good Australian accent yourself, coming from
I do.
Hobart.
I do. And apparently there's different regions of Australia have a slightly different accent, but I can't pick it myself. But some people can.
You're looking good, mate. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. Keeping busy, keeping
Apparently,
out of trouble.
yeah. Your room's looking very clean back there, or maybe a little dirty. I don't know. It's cleaner than last time I saw it.
Yeah, it has wall dividers there. And I had a lot of posters up, but I've cleared it all out. I'm getting ready for a big mail out, basically. So I've got all the boxes ready to go, and yeah,
We
and
have
then I can,
Martin Kennedy. He packs his own stuff and he ships it
yeah,
right to your house.
one man operation. Sorry,
And the help of your cats and Hillary too, right?
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Martin Kennedy of Observers and All India Radio. Man, thank you so much for the time, brother. It's great to see you.
Thanks for having me on again, which is wonderful. Thank you.
It's a third time I listen to your music all day, every day, and it's really a pinch me kind of thing because this is a new season of I Ask No One, or as I say, a new age. It's a new age for what you're creating. All India radios in the past. Maybe a few remixes here and there. Who knows what the future holds? But right
Mm.
here, right now, coming out of Hobart, Tasmania, to Buffalo, New York, and to a town near you or a computer near you is Observers, the age
Yeah,
of machine entities.
yeah.
And before we get into that, man, and like I said, your music, man, I just do so much real estate work to your music. And yesterday, a mentor of mine had passed away, Judy Jack Lewis, an
Mm.
absolute titan in this industry. She ushered me into this industry. It's partly given me the confidence to do something like this and connect with a
Mm.
lot of my favorite creators. So, dedicating I Ask No One, episode 102, to Judy Jack Lewis. God bless you. And, today, fact of the day, February 16th, did you know that today in 1972, Martin, Led Zeppelin played their first Australian show in
Wow.
Perth?
Okay, there you go. I
Yeah.
think I think I might have been a bit young for that one, but that's interesting to know.
You had curly hair back then, right? Like long, fluffy.
Uh, it was a little bit curly, but yeah, I had some hair, so yeah,
Yeah, it was
I
fluffy like
don't
a
miss it that
koala.
much. It's easier to manage.
Hey, you're looking good, brother. Yeah, so Zeppelin, I thought that was what an appropriate thing. And today's quote, one of my all-time favorite all India radio songs and videos is Wolves of Orion.
Ah,
The last, right?
mm,
And the
yeah,
last time I had you on, we were talking about the generator of infinity
yeah.
and
Generator of all infinity.
of
Yeah,
all infinity. Yeah. And that, wow, I love it's another record I listen to every single day. So
I
check it
like
out.
it.
Wolves of Orion. Yeah. Um, Today's quote's from John Dutton. John Dutton, the character from Yellowstone, which Ashlyn and I have been watching it. Have you and Hillary watched that at all?
Is that Dances with Wolves guy? No.
I'm not familiar with, Kevin
Um,
Costner. I'm not sure if
Kevin
you,
Costner, yeah, yeah, it is. Dances with Wolves, Kevin Costner. I watched the first episode, but there's just so much stuff to watch. I just let it go. So maybe I need to get back into it.
sure. Yeah, it's good. He had a good quote that involved wolves. Wolves don't get scared, they get smart. I'm just gonna randomly sneak in an Australian accent here and there.
Yeah,
So
I heard that.
they get smart. And brother, March 4th coming up.
Yeah,
Observers, your new
scary.
project. Exciting
Yeah,
stuff, huh?
yeah. Um, I've been waiting on word for the vinyl to turn up because, as you probably know, the world of vinyl manufacturing is a nightmare, landmines everywhere. But I finally got word yesterday that they'll be with me next week, so which is just in time, just in time.
Well, great. Yeah, I think I got one coming my way. I mean, all
Yeah,
your stuff
thank
on your
you.
Bandcamp websites, they just sell out quick.
Well, yeah, I'm quite surprised. I mean, for um, I have no explanation for it, but the first record I've done, and I guess a few All Indie Radio fans came over from All India to this one, and they just sold out like hotcakes, which is wonderful.
Yeah, just from a fan point of view, I'm really really happy to see that, and from a friend's point of view as well, brother. You know, that's
Mm,
great. But
thank you.
yeah, yeah. What are you most excited about? I know you mentioned maybe a little scared, but Observers compared to All India Radio, which was your band
Mm,
of 20 plus years,
yeah,
Observers is still got that electronic ambient chill stuff, but it's got a little punch to it. A
yeah,
little bit of I'm debuting my new
that's
Slayer
right.
light here, so
Yeah,
this one's
that's
for you.
nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I was kind of heading in a heavier direction with All India Radio, but I felt a little bit, I don't know, it felt a little bit inauthentic that I'm trying to squeeze kind of metal music into this ambient project. Yeah, so I decided to kind of split them in two in a way, and I had gotten a little bit sick of All India Radio just yeah after 22 years or whatever it is. I felt I needed a rest, just some sort of mental line in the sand, so that I don't have to worry about that anymore, and I just concentrate on the new thing, which is Observers. And I don't know. I think Observers was just going to be a one-off to get it out of my system, get this heavy shit out of my system. But I've just enjoyed it so much. I think I'm going to keep going with it. But it's so hard to put into words, but tried to incorporate what I did in All India Radio into Observers, sort of like mesh the world of or dark ambient and metal together. I mean, there's other bands doing that, of course, but I kind of want to do that myself.
I was just on a jog coming here, and it's in the night sky. It's wintry here in Buffalo, and Wings for Marie by Tool came on. And
Hmm.
I've listened to some of your Robot Dawn stuff, which was maybe an EP or you
Oh,
released
yeah.
some demos and
Mm,
stuff like that. But it's got that eerie, dark,
mm,
ethereal kind of punchy stuff. And I love what I'm hearing, man. I'm really, really
mm,
excited about this next chapter for your creative.
mm.
You
Good.
know.
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, the next record is done. The Robot Dawn, I actually brought one out. So I've actually got the next record out before the first one. So this will be the second Observers album. And it's kind of, I guess it's not leftovers, but it is kind of leftover tracks from the first album, but mixed in with a lot of ambient stuff as well. So yeah, there you go. I'm kind of serious about it now. So
Man, pumped about that. And it's you are a one man,
yeah,
show. You're doing your thing. You got those boxes back there. You really lot of attention to detail too, man. I love you're really on top of the dates and the locations or how long you just have your shit together, basically is what I'm
yeah,
saying. And you're
yeah.
very organized. What you have in your social media with Kilby Kennedy and Sci-Fi Ot and
Mm,
and All India Radio. But with Observers, just there's always something new. It seems like, you get on your message board or your mailing list rather, and there's something new every week. It's really great. You have Chris Bohm and Rich Gray on drums and
mm,
bass. If you could
mm.
just educate our listeners, how do you know those guys, and how was it incorporating, a third party back, a third party. All right, I'm done. A
Still,
third party into this Observers project.
Well, they were guns for hire, and there's a couple of websites on the internet, and musicians go on and say, you know, for a certain price, I can play on your record, etc. And I really lucked out with those two guys. They're just absolutely fantastic. So Chris was a gun for hire, and I sent him demo tapes, and then he just comes back with these incredible drums. And the same with Rich Gray, and it turns out he actually plays in Canada's Annihilator. Um, so he's their bass player at the moment, which is, wow, a member of Annihilator playing with me. That was kind of a thrill. So yeah, it's really easy to do it with these guys. You send them the demo tape, and they send you back like a rough or whatever, and you say yes or no, and bang, you have this incredible performance. So yeah, that's the way to do it. And then I record all the rest, and then maybe get some solo guitarists the same way.
Yeah, so some of these solo guitarists, you just said you get them the same way. Name drop any of those guys, and maybe you love solos. I mean, I know you love David Gilmour.
Yeah, I can't play them though. That's
hands off there.
yeah. So I've got Joe Haley. He actually mixed the album, and he's a local here in Hobart, Tasmania, and he's in a band called Psycroptic, and they've been around for a long time. I hadn't heard of them, but I know now that they're very popular within their niche, their genre. I don't know what you call it. Is it mathematic metal or something like math metal? What's the word? So these genres. Anyway, they're really good, and he's an absolutely fantastic mixer. Just exactly the sort of sound that I wanted, and he did a solo on one of the songs. And there's a guy called Jake Weber. He's in Victoria, Melbourne, Victoria, and he's just an Instagram friend who posts his metal songs on Instagram. And so I sent him a message to say, hey, I'd love to have you play on my record. And he said, yeah, let's do it. So that's the way I got him.
Wow,
but one day I will learn to play guitar properly and learn how to do a solo, and I'll do it myself.
Hey man, it's all right. And to any haters out there that are giving you shit, as I think there's a recent post you had acknowledging, someone is just saying bullshit. Man, I I log on to YouTube and I see something new every day, and really depends on my mood, really. If it hits me right, what you could be doing better or whatever. And basically when it comes down to it, I ask no one. And last time I checked, you create stuff that makes you feel good. So
Yeah,
anyone's got anything bad about it, hey, just thank you for
yeah,
the view, and fuck you too. But
yeah.
it's not worth any of the time. But hey, maybe you're someday you release just a ripping solo fucking record. Are there any dream soloists or metal soloists that maybe on a future Observers track
Yeah,
you'd love
look,
to see?
I've probably said it in another podcast with you, but David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. And I think his solos would really cross over well into the sort of metal music that I'm playing. Of course, it's never going to happen. Who else? Who else is there?
Devin
Look,
Townsend?
oh yeah. But he has a rule: he doesn't play on other people's metal records. So I actually asked him if he'd be interested in doing something on this one. He said, "Oh, look, I'm really sorry. I as a rule, I don't play on metal records, but if you're doing an ambient album, then hit me up." So there you go. Yeah, he'd be great as a soloist, but can't get him.
Yeah, my very first chat with you on I Ask No One was during the release of Afterworld. That was the record, right?
Yeah, yeah,
On All India Radio. Beautiful
mm,
artwork.
mm,
And Devin Townsend, he appeared on Sula Guin, if I said
yeah.
it right. Uh,
That's near enough. That's
yeah,
near enough.
what a cool song that is. And I know he liked one of your records a lot. The Slow, um,
The Slow Light.
yes.
The Slow Light was the album, and the name of the song. I can't even remember the name of the song. Okay, I've got so many songs I forget the name. But yeah, a song off The Slow Light he really loved and sort of reworked for his last album.
Yeah, it wasn't Dark Star. I'm just looking
No,
this up right now. I
I
want
was.
to get that name.
I can't believe I can't remember my own song's name. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, well, here, Alice in Chains, All India Radio. Let's see.
Oh,
QR.
Can You Hear the Sound?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Can You Hear the Sound? I'll include a
Yeah.
link below to that song and to Sulaguin.
Mm.
Beautiful music. With these tracks, you know, you bring up David Gilmour. I thought the track "The Narrow Way" Part 2 looked familiar. So your love and infatuation and obvious obsession with a band called the Pink Floyd continues
Yeah.
on with your new project. So you chose that song off of Umaguma just because you're
Yeah.
feeling it, or?
Yeah, look, it's the second album on the Umaguma album, and it's all individual members of Pink Floyd did four. There was 4 solo tracks. So, and The Narrow Way was David Gilmour's solo track, but I'm pretty sure the whole band played on it. I don't know, but anyway, I absolutely love that song and that particular part of the song because there's, you know, part 1, part 2. Part 2 just has a really great riff and it just repeats all the way through and just gets weirder and weirder towards the end. So yeah, I just wanted to do it. So I did it.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. And that closes the record, right? Age
Yeah.
of Machine Entities.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, are there songs? Oh, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
I was going to say one day, well, I kind of have done a Pink Floyd cover album with All India Radio, but I want to do more and just do an entire Pink Floyd double album just for the hell of it.
That'd be sick. What are some tracks that come to mind that you would feature on that?
Well, I've already done some of my favorites. Set the
Yeah,
control
Cirrus
stuff.
Minor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's. I'd love to do that. Julia Dream, which is another sort of obscure one. I've done that. What else? I probably wouldn't go much further beyond Dark Side of the Moon, just because I think pre-Dark Side of the Moon, there's so many interesting tracks. I think I'd stick to that era. Anyway, that's something for. It's a work in progress.
Nice, nice. And you know, tracks off the latest record, are there certain moments or compositions off Age of Machine Entities that stand out to you that you're just really proud of, or you know, things that you maybe
Yeah.
look forward to playing live on a live stream or even in person?
Yeah, maybe a live stream. So what are my favorite songs? There's one called Strange and Beautiful. And that was inspired by Nick Mason from Pink Floyd. He came out here with his band, Nick Mason's Saucer Full of Secrets. I think that was October or something like that. And they played Echoes, that famous Pink Floyd song. And there was this section in the middle, really ethereal kind of thing with some fantastic atmospheric guitar work. And I just sat there and I went, wow, this is amazing. So I borrowed some of it and sort of reworked it into a song. Yeah. And what else? Moon Doom from the album is one of my favorites, just a really slow sort of doomy kind of track. And there's the next single is Frank Poole's Dream. If anyone knows, Frank Poole is one of the characters from 2001: A Space Odyssey, and he's the one that he died in the spacesuit and he sort of went spinning off into space. So in sort of my dark 2001 fantasy world, he was still alive and ended up somewhere.
You love 2001: A Space Odyssey, don't you?
I do.
You saw it in theaters in your youth, right? And it
Yeah.
just an imprint.
So I bought this to show and tell. This was I actually went to this screening. My mum took me when it was. I think it was re-released around Star Wars, just because science fiction was happening so much back then, and I went to see it, and I was only 12 years old, and I thought, whoa, this is this is blowing my mind. So, and I really, in a good way, and I've just been obsessed with it ever since.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, you keep. I know
Keep
last
talking
episode
about it.
you had fucking gum that you chewed, and you're still alive after eating gum from the 1970s. That's
Yeah.
great.
I actually just had a few more sticks that I threw out before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Space Odyssey, man. I've seen the movie once.
it's an
It's
acquired taste, I think.
definitely. I saw the baby at the end, just like I mentioned before. Just
Again, what the
what the
fuck?
heck? Yeah. And I'm gonna watch it again very, very soon. And it's like The Shining, one of my
Yeah.
all-time favorite movies. I take it like every single time that you watch the movie, it's like you're watching it, you notice a new thing here and there, right?
Mm. Yeah, they're sort of, well, it's Stanley Kubrick's way. They're like mood pieces. They're just these strange experiences, a lot of his films. Yeah, I love The Shining too. It's probably my favorite horror movie.
Isn't just amazing? I asked the drummer of Mastodon once, Bron Daler, Bill's Mafia buddy. He's been on the show a few times now. And I asked him, "What's your favorite scene?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know. It's the flow of it." And
Yeah.
sometimes he'll drum in the yellow shining shirt that he has.
All right.
And yeah, it's another one where it's just, fuck, I love it. I got a picture right over there. My dad gifted me in Christmas. It's a video, it's a picture of Nicholson walking up the stairs with his
Oh
bat,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Wendy is right crawling up right for the
Yeah.
camera. And then going up the stairs is Kubrick and his people just going up.
Mm.
Oh, I love that. But Space Odyssey, Martian, I like to call you Martian because I really, to this day, I really think you are an alien. And that you're
My
just,
favorite Martian.
besides the hair, you don't age, by the way. So um
It's because bald men age slower for some reason, or
uh,
it's not as obvious. If
hey,
you've been bald, I've been bald since my early 20s, and I think because you don't notice one of the signs of aging is graying and thinning hair. So just take it all off.
well, Space Odyssey is a big influence on this new project of yours. I've got two demo tapes that I
Ooh,
wanted to
yeah,
show you. And we talk about artwork. I mean, love the artwork on the CDs and the records that you create. Um, just very, very cool. I don't have a cassette player yet. I mean, someday when I do,
yeah,
I'm gonna just play these a bunch. Um, but it's just so fun just to kind of
yeah,
fun. Your artwork, it's you really collaborate with some of the coolest artists ever. And this fella, Ryan T. Hancock, that you collaborated with, how'd you get connected with him? Was that through online as
Once
well?
again on Instagram, I've connected with so many people on Instagram. So I'd been watching his videos. He'd post videos of time lapse of him doing artwork on Instagram, on my sci-fi art Instagram. And a couple of years ago, for the Afterworld album, I think it was, I asked him if he could do some artwork, not for the front cover, but for a booklet inside. And he did that. And yeah, so for the Observers album, there was no one else who could do it. I went straight to him, gave him a few sort of concept ideas, and let him do his thing. Um, he's just got a particular style that really appeals to me, and yeah, a lot of other metal bands are using him too. So good on him.
Yeah, damn right. Did he also do that hooded cloak dude with the star and the
Oh no,
face?
that was someone else. I I'm trying to remember his name. Splitsaber.x. Splitsaber.exe is his Instagram handle. And his first name's Dylan. I can't remember his last name. Sorry, Dylan. Um, but yeah, I've used his art a lot before too on some all India radio releases. And as soon as he posted that one on Instagram, I thought I've got to have that art because this is before Observers had started almost, and I bought the license for it from him, and just kept it in reserve ever since. And sometimes I see art and I get inspired, and I'll go and write some music with that in mind. So there you go.
Yeah. That picture of that dude with the star or girl.
Yeah.
I agree, man. That's one of the cool. I was reading it, just reading this magazine that you sent me, this little booklet. I mean, it's so cool. The aesthetic of what you do. You have these little magazines, these little cards or whatever, these nuggets from it's very 1970s of you, Martian.
Yeah.
And
I was trying to emulate a lot of bands before CDs, and when you couldn't afford to make a record, bands would just put out a cassette, and they'd have a little fanzine magazine with them. And I've got lots of those things from when I was young that you buy at your record store or whatever. So I was trying to sort of use that idea and put together to the cassettes, because they actually are demos on those cassettes. So, and the artwork is concept artwork as well. So it just all worked together.
I love that star person that can, I don't know, there's something about it. I'm a
Space Wizard.
diehard Total Recall fan, and you're starting to open my mind to these different alien movies over the years and different sci-fi things, man. And it's fun to watch at night. Oh, there you go.
Right there, yeah. Of course, that's the black and white version. Color version's even better.
Yeah, killer. Oh my God. But writing, you just talked about it. When you see a piece of art that inspires you to the strings or to the buttons and or the keys rather. So when you saw a picture like that, or a picture like you know, that red eye in Space Odyssey, you know, the villain. Now you look at that red eye, that kind of is the biggest inspiration for Observers, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what is this? Is there a concept, or is there the big
Kind of a
influence from Space
a
Odyssey?
loose concept. Because there's no lyrics in my songs, they're all instrumental, so I couldn't really sing about it. But I guess it's just a loose, kind of a loose concept of 2001: A Space Odyssey, and the rise of AI, and you know, if it all goes bad. So I used 2001: A Space Odyssey as a launching place for the idea of the album. Yeah, I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, man. The Age of Machine Entities is the record. March 4th, Observers, the debut LP. So pumped for that. You got splattered vinyl coming out eventually. And
Next
man,
week.
next week. The artwork's amazing. I gotta say, and I am not blowing smoke. That is some of the coolest album artwork I've ever seen in my life. I've shared it with friends, my metal friends.
Yeah.
I can't wait to post about it because it's just so cool looking.
Well, I sort of, when I got that artwork, I was wondering, how do I put the band logo and the title on it? And I just tried all these different combinations, and it just didn't work. So in the end, I let the front cover speak for itself, and left the title and the logo off. It's, you know, it works, and I didn't want to ruin the artwork.
I'm leaving next week to go to DC to go hang out with my best college buddy, Christian Lavender, who is IANO on episode 3 and stood in my wedding last year. So that was special. Chino, Deftones. He has a song called Blood Skull, or no, Red Skull, I think it is. Red Skull. And I love that red skull on the front record. Fucking killer. What's one song, or what's one question you would ask Stanley Kubrick, my man?
Oh, can you please make a music video for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
What song would that be for?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe. Oh no, look, I don't know. I'd ask for the video, and I think I'd make the music to the video, so he can make a music video for me first, and then I'll do the soundtrack for him.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely got a good taste of music. That Shining soundtrack is something else, and Space
Yeah.
Odyssey. Gosh. You mentioned AI, you know, the current technology of the world. When I first joined real estate, you know, this thing,
Mm,
this thing here, you could,
yeah.
what 20, 30 years ago, you needed buildings and rooms, and this thing is eventually going to
Yeah.
be in us, right? Um, where do you see, I mean, bands are singing about it lately, Avenged Sevenfold in particular. I mean, where do you see technology in the next 10 years or 100 years?
Well, I mean, technology is extremely helpful. The phone, it's like having a computer in your pocket. The thing I don't like is AI art, and um, because I know so many human artists, and a lot of them are starting to lose commissions because the band or whoever has decided to use AI art on the front cover. And unfortunately, in the metal world, it's rife. It's everywhere. Um, so I'm kind of against that, and and it doesn't even look good. It just looks generic, and yeah, I'm just not a fan of AI art. But um, yeah, the iPhone, it's undeniably fantastic. So I hope that we can keep advancing sort of technologically, but I don't know. There's got to be some ground rules really for AI art, and then music. It's I can just imagine a top 40 with all this computer generated content basically, and it'll be horrible.
Yeah, yeah, no, thank you. And every single thing that you're about to hear on March the 4th, Observers, the Age of Machine Entities, is all 100% real. You got
Human
Martin,
made.
human made. Well, I don't know if you're a human, but it's
Oh, that's right. I'm a Martian. I forgot.
yes, you are. Between Chris, Rich, you know, your soloist and yourself. Very pumped. And it's got that metal edge that cuts through, but at the same time, it's great for background music. I mean, for me, I love it really for any mood. What kind of music do you listen to in the background when you're, I don't know, meditating or doing dishes or doing bullshit around the house?
um, I used to listen to a lot of ambient music. I mean, I still do, but I go back to Brian Eno's early work, um, which is he did this ambient series in the late 70s, early 80s, which really got the ball going on ambient music. And what else do I listen to? Harold Budd, he was an ambient sort of piano player. But I actually don't listen to a lot of music now while I'm working. And when I say while I'm working, like packing boxes or, doing something band related, because it distracts me, because my mind goes to the music and I think, oh, wow, it sounds so good. And I make mistakes basically. So I do work in complete silence, nothing. So there you go.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I just learned something about you. And
Yeah.
that's really, really cool. And just for our viewers, if you're finding any kind of value in what we're talking about, you know, a subscribe or a like is really appreciated. For every new subscription, I donate $10 to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, of which I am very proudly on the board, just passed over $11,000.
Wow.
And it's all because of you guys just coming in and giving me a few seconds of your time, including Martin for now the third time. So I
My pleasure.
appreciate it. Um, but observers, you mentioned a live stream maybe coming up. Any live performances? I mean, I know Buffalo, New York is pretty far away. Maybe I'll have to get my ass over to Hobart and watch you, but uh, live streams?
If you come here, I'll put on a little one man up performance for you. No live gigs. I can't play live. Basically, I've got a cervical spine issue that if I play guitar for more than, I don't know, half an hour, three-quarters of an hour, uh, I stuff up my neck, and then that triggers migraines. And unfortunately, I just can't stand there and play guitar because I have to look down. and it just can't be done. So I'll probably do a live stream, and yeah, but Observers is my future for the next few years, I think. And I do. There's Bandcamp have got this thing called an album listening party. So I'm going to have one of those. And basically, you invite all your friends to come along, and Bandcamp plays the album, and then you can chat to your friends, and it's good fun actually. I did it with an all indie radio release, and you just chat on the chat and listen to the album. So
Yeah,
I'll do that.
I merch too. I participated in that. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And you have a contest coming up right now? Or?
Yeah, giving away a test pressing and some of Ryan's beautiful artwork, or a print of the artwork, and just a couple of other little bits of 2001 memorabilia. And it's doing really well, that competition. Lots of entries, which is wonderful. So yeah, and I do that with every release, or I try to do that with every release, and just, you know, it's just fun, and someone gets something good at the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just again, from a fan and from a friend, brother, I mean, seeing the trajectory going up, and people are really seeming into what this new thing that you're doing. You mentioned, you know, Rich Gray, bass of Annihilator, Canada's Annihilator. Admittedly, I'm not too familiar with Annihilator. I will be checking them out. You bet your ass. What other metal bands are really coming at you when you're creating this kind of music?
Oh, I kind of cherry pick. I'm like a magpie. I take a little bit here and a little bit there. So there's no one in particular, but I've been listening to bands like Darkspace. They're a Swiss cosmic sort of ambient metal band, and I just discovered this morning they've got a new album out, and I really liked just the ambient white noise guitar sound, and not that doesn't necessarily come out in my music, but it's just a mood that I've really liked. And a band called Bellwitch. They're kind of a doom band. They really slow, just really slow funeral kind of music. Who else? There's a band called Elder. I've just been introduced to. I think they're from the UK. Really good sort of metal prog kind of thing. And no one else that I can think of, but yeah, I hear something, I think, oh yeah, that's really good. I can incorporate that in somehow. So yeah.
Yeah, Bellwitch. Mercyful Fate has a song called Bell, and I love some Mercyful Fate. And who knows, maybe in the live stream we could see you with some black metal paint on your face, or maybe a wig. I know with your cervical, you know, probably
Yeah.
headbanging, but
I just couldn't do that. No. And I have to stress that I'm not a metalhead, and I don't want to pretend I'm one either, because you know, metal people just see right through that. But it's just fascinating. I've just been discovering all these genres and subgenres of metal music, and it's just wonderful. I'm discovering all this stuff that has sort of been on the periphery of my mind the last, you know, 10, 20 years, but I've never really delved into.
Well, the Age of Machine Entities, March 4th, 2024. Bring it on. Gratitude's my attitude, brother. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you.
Much love to you and Hillary, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Thank you. See ya.
See you, brother.